So hey guys, so in this video today, I wanna move to the next 10 minute speaking stuff. Like I think that yesterday is the last day for speaking the practice speaking of 15. So now I think that I should move to the 16. Right, that's pretty good for me, right? That's pretty good for me though. But before that, I think I'm gonna go to YouTube and have some arrange, arrange, arrangement arrangement for my playlist. I mean, uh, I mean that I'm not really sure about this. You know what? I'm gonna go to actually go to my own channel and then I'm gonna add the 15 playlist. I'm gonna put on a video for 15. I'm gonna put it in the playlist like Batok Nothing and Musao. So, so it's gonna be 15 with because I think it's a better idea for me though. Yeah, so I have about I'm saying that around 19 I think. Yeah, it's 19 and I have 20, 21, 22, 19. Okay, so 20, 21, 22. I'm gonna go here. It's gonna be 15, right? 15. Yeah, I'm done. Alright, so let's start with that, right? Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. Of course. Here. Because it is the first time, so I have to really focus on it. Our brain constantly changes. Every single second is changing, every experience is changing. If I put your brain on your head and do a blissful surgery right now, I hold your brain in my hand. It's not going to do anything. You can look all day long. You're dead, nothing in your body will function. No channel, no energetic activation. Nothing will happen. No change will switch on. But the fact that you're alive, they haven't done that. Listen your brain and change. You're doing anything because you're thinking, feeling, and choosing. If foreign data is on the switch on, you're thinking, feeling, and choosing, you change on. They're on thinking, feeling, and choosing. It doesn't matter the factor that they are practically not have not done enough research on that. I've spent 30 years myself researching. We've got to focus on that before because otherwise I can use my brain as an execute for everything. It's just a day and never. You can make the research work. They have adjective, they got. They have this, they got that. No, that's not what. No rules effect. I can be raised in the same household, experiencing the same twin divorce, same parents, and the twin. I think you can be in the same experience. When 20 years old, I can still view the world in different way than you. Different from birth. The birth from the totally different. Now I see studies of identical twins where you have one that on edge, and yet one to still one is sort of thing up still going along. How do you receive things? Makes your body work against you. Your brain. Your brain builds that perception physically. It's your brain thinking, feeling, choosing. Moment every day. And feel I take a scenario when I'm constantly seeing a negative. So if I have no more than 3 days, turn the talk in a certain way, I built a very strong tree in my brain. A tree is a thought of sort of real things. They look like trees, they all consisting metal roots is that made of proteins. Until you now go growing, a little bit of fall, you converting minds and waters that listen into trees in the brain. And if you have got a habit, if you've done something for years, you thought it away for years because of an experience, because of an environment. So the neutral you born with it wired for your love sign, neutral environments and all that stuff you respond. Now that's the eye factor. The two twins go through life, something but how they see it. So each experience is now adding no more layers into my internal cortex here when I'm born. When here I'm receiving, I may receive the two twins when I receive a relationship in this way, receive a relationship in this way, two different network built in the brain. Keep thinking in that certain way of strength. Think about the work into toxic thoughts so that the pattern You can change a person very easily to stand back, observe their own thinking because it doesn't how we decide. It's quantum physics and all that. You can stand back and observe your own thinking and you can show someone. Can you see that you're being negative when you see that? That is, and you can show people there's always a way for someone to simply choose to do that. Someone has done something I've been doing one these days, they have a pattern into their brain by a pathway. It's a tree. We use this. It's reporting its on computers. And those computers are very established. It is stimulate with long-term memory. The 33 days minimum to period, habit on 21, we've been told. 63. I think of that we're going to the expert level, so they have for 66 years been growing. I mean, expert warrior doesn't mean what I have become. So I become your hard work. I want to do a lot of work, my work. I have to do a lot of my management to use emotion signal like depression and anxiety. I may have to use that to find out what is the cause of why I'm so negative. Even a long-term memory can be reconceptualized, and it means I always remember. Let's say you have, for example, someone sees the glass half empty and they have just been there and that. It just be just like you're just always going to see the negative first. In every business meeting, just always see the negative. Where the person change, they become experts in being negative, but they actually unwind that. They can get to the point where there's not work like you go through the benefit through it. But people don't want to do it this day. You can change that, reverse that process. Or the first step to join, the first step and gather. That's a big rule for impression technology. So raise and accept these issues. The second one is go to reflect. Deep reflection is process. This is the most painful part. It's like a surgeon will say, my friends, I have about doctor friends. I said they got to first go to the patient. To heal them, go through the pain before you go home to them. Do that a very horrible process that is very hard. I'm not lying, but it's good. It takes time. It takes cycles of 21 days. So you can process it to deep reflection where you basically try to check back to not visually back, but why I'm doing the same. We're still looking at the parent, change the person. The first thing to start with is take this emotional warning signal. But you got physical warning signals. So embracing the emotion, physical warning from self for the mind and from yourself. You think thinking about it, yes. Why I'm always negative, why I'm always depressed, why I'm anxious. And you go through that process of self-reflection, you get in the point where you're not justifying it to a day bit to the point where you find okay, well maybe in 29 days, you see, oh I'm anxious because I'm actually trying to be a perfectionist. I'm trying to control everything in my environment. And you quite working on maybe it's because it's trauma where you never deal with. The third thing is we will continually process. People to have the best stuff, you're right. The third one, when you write, you carry a lot of and when you say 20 like literally throw on page because you see my mind on them have developed. If you spend a minute of half to 2 minutes doing each of the things you can gather for a minute and a half. You could reflect for a minute and a half. You would write for a minute and a half, and then you would recheck. And recheck is a process where you go back and look of the problems, the triggers, what does it mean. So you think of what I've become aware of something going on. I am reflecting why I'm feeling. I'm starting to get to the root of the honestly a minute and I move on. Bring that down. Maybe a bunch of somebody you write out. Which you check yourself chamber and try to get some level of order. Then you go to get as you get that level of order. That's my little 90 tasks for today. And it might be simple as when I feel this anxiety coming on, I'm gonna compartmentalize it and I'm not worried about it. Tonight at 6 o'clock. 3 minutes and a half, there's only a little bit of emotional information we must only get a bit of every day. But I think every day we can't solve it and no more in the day. It's a little things change over the time. We try to quickly calculate it there. This process you have to dig out of your non-social, a deep investigative detective process of that we're doing. So let's say now that you start seeking, I'm doing that because for negative, I'm starting to get a glimpse of maybe it could be this or maybe so I can do today as a little active rich. An active rich is then if I see that even let's take out the worry thing, I wake up and worry. I just think that like that I'm stuck in getting up, so I say okay, I'm aware of I'm worrying or not for today. Day one, I just worked out that naturally everyone stop worrying. So cool with my active reach. As I worry, as I it hit me in the face, I'm going to say, okay, this worry, I can't deal with it now. I'm deal with tonight. So now it's the 6 o'clock in the morning, and it was 6 o'clock tonight, and as you go through the day, it is that what also have happened is to get the energy away from the worry. It will talk real. It's a real living thing. It has energy, it's firing energy. So if I take this worry toxic and I say, okay, keep quiet, you're in the box, I'm not going to deal with you, discipline yourself, don't think about it. And by the time 6 o'clock tonight comes 10 hours later, that thing's not energy. But at least I will change that their brains could change. I will change that we could work people that hard trong their brain jury like major. I have been working off naturalist and naturalist centers into deliberate and intentional building of a brain, learning, growing the brain, studying daily, going back to university, another physics school, getting high grade. This kid have been working of as vegetable. I've seen that happen way too often, and so to me there are many scientists who have seen show that when you use your mind, your brain will change. Alright, so I think that is it for this video today. This video is quite, the speed of this video is quite, faster than the previous one that I've, spoken, that I've spoken it, and so I have to try a lot to catch up with this going. Alright, so I think that this is the end of this video for today. Bye guys. Have a good day. See you again in the next 30 minutes video.